Brody the Brain Herman. He doesn't just watch wrestling, he decodes it. From the deep history of wrestling to today's matches in the ring and beyond. Get a deeper dive in the world of professional wrestling. And now, here's Patrico, Flying Ryan, and Brody the Brain Herman. This is Wrestling on the Spectrum.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wrestling on the Spectrum, and this is our lovely new setup here today. I'm here with Ryan and Tony. How are you all doing today?
Oh, man, absolutely fantastic, Brody. And check us out with a fancy new setup here. So, hey, while you're listening out there in YouTube world, if there's any technical difficulties, if you have a problem with that, Brody's going to put you in a sleeper hold. So that's that. You know, we're adapting. So welcome, guys. Welcome to Wrestling on the Spectrum. My name is Tony Patrico, and you spell that Patrico. Oh, baby. And it is a gloomy Saturday here in St. Louis. But man, St. Louis is rocking with wrestling love, joined by Flying Ryan Swingler. Ryan, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Tony. How are you?
Great, man. Hey, the setup looks great. We're feeling great. We're having a great time. And of course, I'm very excited to talk about what happened here in St. Louis with the man himself, Brody the Brain Herman. Out of nowhere, I hear this fella was at Enterprise Center yesterday. So
Yeah,
tell me about it, man.
idols.
Oh, it was absolutely great. Enterprise Center, tons of wrestling fans there. And of course, Sexy Red made an appearance. And, you know, SmackDown is just, it was such a great atmosphere being there. So many wrestling fans. Shows in St. Louis is a great wrestling town. And there was a lot to, you know, chew on going on the road to WrestleMania.
Okay, so before we dive into some serious stuff that happened yesterday that really is paving that road to WrestleMania, I want to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart, and I believe yours as well, and that is Danhausen.
Yes.
Okay, so I watched at home last night,
Good man.
and if you guys remember, Danhausen's debut probably didn't go the way that they thought it would, and we think it's because it was in Chicago. We're not 100% sure if that crowd ate into it, but as we've seen over the past couple weeks, Danhausen continued to get louder pops. Danhausen continuing to get support on social media. Sounded like St. Louis loved themselves some Danhausen last night.
Oh, yeah.
So did it translate as well as it did on TV
There
live in the
certainly
building?
were a lot of Danhausens last night in
Yes.
St. Louis, Missouri. I'm telling you, a lot of people wearing Danhausen gear. They had people painted their faces with Danhausen's trademarked face paint. It was an absolute treat. Danhausen was involved last night in the match between Kit Wilson and The Miz versus R-Truth and Damian Priest. Obviously, Damian Priest and R-Truth retained. Danhausen got involved in the match. He cursed the referee, Dan Engler. For those who don't know TNA, he was Rudy Charles as the referee, so he's been around a very long time. It was an absolute treat to see Danhausen finally out in front of the people in the ring, and hopefully his role on WWE TV increases as we're seeing him evolve and develop. I'm kind of surprised he's not in the Intercontinental title ladder match at WrestleMania, but we'll see what Danhausen is going to do at WrestleMania.
I love the fact that you don't know what they're doing with Danhausen yet. You're like, okay, it was kind
He's
of
in
clear.
a feud with The Miz. I would love to see Danhausen and The Miz against each other at WrestleMania.
I think that would be great. That's one of those matches where it's like, okay, you can't give me, we all know this. We've all been wrestling fans for a very long time. Even though it's WrestleMania, we know we're not going to get 10 banger matches.
Right.
You got to give me a break. Give me a match to go grab a piece of pizza. Give me a match to go to the bathroom, you know? And like, that is that perfect match. If you are a Danhausen fan, you're going to watch that match. But if not, go do what you got to do and then come back. Wrestling overload is real. It happens, especially with all these different promotions, and every single day of the week there's a show. So those types of matches make sense. So it was nice to see Danhausen get some love in St. Louis last night. Lots of stuff developed this week when it comes to Raw, when it comes to SmackDown. But again, you live in the building at SmackDown. Give me some of your highlights of what you experienced last night.
Well, first off, kicking off the first segment, we found out who Randy Orton was on the phone with, and then his former NFL punter, Pat McAfee of the Indianapolis Colts. He's been on WWE commentary before, a huge wrestling fanatic. And of course, he has a show on ESPN every single day, the Pat McAfee Show. He came out in sunglasses, ran through the crowd, and it turns out the business has not passed Pat McAfee by. And not only has it not passed him by, it looks like he's integrally involved with Randy Orton and is going to be at WrestleMania. So I'm looking forward to that, and adds a little bit of more main event pomp and circumstance to the Cody Rhodes Randy Orton match at WrestleMania.
Man, I've got a very unpopular opinion.
Okay.
I love Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
I like his show. I like him as a commentator. I like him in the ring. I like Pat McAfee. This was unneeded to me. I don't
agree.
understand why you insert him into okay, you put Randy Orton because you're afraid of ticket sales.
Right.
And now you think that Pat McAfee is going to be the other thing. In my eyes, that makes me go, you better be worried about Mania, because if ticket sales are this low,
I
that
think we
now
are
you're
worried about
adding
Mania.
something else, like that's scary to me. But
It
I don't
is.
think this does anything for the story. Like Pat McAfee was great. The promo was fantastic
It
last
was.
night.
It was a
But
great promo.
But it doesn't make sense to
doesn't
me to
matter.
insert this into what was already an interesting story to me.
You know what it is? They have a deal with ESPN, and he's a
Yeah.
big part of ESPN, and they're
And-
trying to better their relationship with ESPN Plus. So ESPN is going to try to litter their talent all over the WrestleMania show to improve ticket sales.
Yes.
I also have another thing. It's about 3 other letters too, and I'm gonna say it's TKO as well.
Absolutely, it's about TKO.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially bringing out Lil Yachty too. I just have to.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
and
just
here's
bringing out a lot.
But here's the thing for me, like, I know what ESPN is trying to do. We want to get more eyes on this. How do we do it? Well, we got a guy that works for us that also works for them. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But to me, as a wrestling fan from previous days, I look at it and I go, this is way too forced. Like, I look at this and go, the only reason he is there is because ESPN goes, put him there. And WWE went, okay. And to me, I go, damn it, I don't want to see that. Like, I like
You want to see Pat McAfee interfering in the match. Do you think it takes away from the match if McAfee interferes at WrestleMania?
I mean, I don't know. And now did you see the stipulation that he posted on Twitter afterwards?
Yeah, he's never going to be on WWE TV again. If everybody knows you're going to be on WWE TV, you've said that 10 million times. Well, the business has passed me by. It has not passed you by. You're always going to be on WWE TV because you love wrestling and everybody knows that.
Yes.
So stop overdoing it. It's like, oh, I'm never going to be in WWE again. And of course, Cody Rhodes is doing the MJF stop from, then you should fire me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've heard that
I'm so
many
tired of
times.
Cody. I'm not going to lie, bro.
Now people are saying that he was talking directly to The Rock, and this is going to set up next year
Oh, for God's
something
sake.
with The Rock. So I
Oh.
don't know, but all I'm going to say is this: I was very interested in this match, and the addition of Pat McAfee. While I love him, and again, I am a Pat McAfee fan, the addition of him does nothing for me.
Well, what would
in
you
this
rather
match.
have him do than be a guest host, or would you rather have that role for Cena?
Put him somewhere else. Put him in. You know what? You know
announce or something.
You
I
know
don't
where Pat McAfee would have fit really well for me? Have Pat McAfee do something with Danhausen, because that would have been hilarious.
But isn't the whole idea that I'm the more wrestling purist guy now? I'm the Cornette listener. That's what McAfee is. I'm like, purist.
Okay.
Why would you be hanging out with Danhausen?
I don't know. I mean, I understand why they want him involved in Mania, and I don't disagree that he shouldn't be involved in Mania. But okay, they just announced John Cena as the host of Mania. Have him and McAfee do it. That would be hilarious to me,
Fine.
because I think they both play off of each other really well. You want to utilize him that way? That's a great way to do it. But I think inserting him into this match, while again, and I'm going to contradict myself here, I don't think it's going to make the match better or worse. I think it's going to be the same type of match. I just don't think it was necessary to put him into this picture and into the story. I just don't think it was.
Okay.
I think I would have been more excited for Cowboy Bob Orton to come out.
You
I
want to know that would have got some ticket sales for Mania maybe if they would have brought out Ted DiBiase Jr.
And a lot of people thought that.
Something.
Especially with
Fresh
what's
off
going
the
on
court
too.
case?
Fresh off
Yeah.
the court case,
been
man.
acquitted.
He beat it, baby.
Yep,
Come
he's
on.
been acquitted. So talk to me about Cena's role in Mania here.
Yeah,
Like
Cena's
what?
role, he's going to be the host of WrestleMania, despite the fact that he's not being inducted in the Hall of Fame this year, which is kind of an awkward thing. I'm like, well, why aren't you just inducting him in the Hall of Fame this year?
Well, I'll tell you. I read this online, but I read that John Cena and AJ Styles were supposed to go in together, and Cena said, "Put him in, give him his dues. I'll go in next
That's
year."
fine. That's fine. Then
I don't know
if
how
Cena
true that
wants
is.
Then that's fine. I don't care. He's
Yeah.
going to get in the Hall of Fame at some point. If it's this year or next year, it makes no difference. But he's hosting WrestleMania, and then he's going to have to ask, well, why aren't you going in the Hall of Fame this year? That's just a question he's going to have to answer to.
Yeah. So what's his role? What does he do?
He's going to be the host.
I know,
He's
but
gonna
what
come
does
out
that
there, He's
mean?
going to welcome the crowd. He's going to, wave his hand. He's going to be the like
The
a
figurehead.
political figure coming out
So,
there.
but you know how usually this works. If The Rock is the host, at some point somebody's getting a rock bottom
When
into people's
everybody's been the
elbow.
host,
So, like, what happens with John Cena?
maybe
Who
he
does
does
he
a segment.
interact
It's not
with?
going to be a big part of the show. The host of WrestleMania never does anything.
Well, no, but I'm saying usually, like, if Stone Cold, I remember
Okay, fine. He'll attitude adjust somebody. That'll be it.
it'll just be some rando.
That's fine. And
Okay.
that'll be some random.
Why are you so mad about it? It
No,
seems
I'm
like
not
you don't
mad
like
about
that
it.
he's going to be.
We're just
Seem a
talking,
little
we're just
perturbed,
riffing a little
bro.
bit. Come on now. We have a little energy
Yeah.
this morning. Come
I
on,
just-
we need
New
every bit
setup.
of it.
He's
Yeah.
ready.
I just love the fact that, a lot of people assumed that when John Cena said, we're done here, that he was going to take some time and be done. I think it's smart to have Cena at WrestleMania. again, that doesn't say great things for ticket sales, because to add somebody like John Cena, like he's fresh off of retiring, guys, like fresh
He
off
still
of
wants
it,
to be involved in WWE, I've heard.
which is great. And I hope he does. And I know that there was an interview where they were like, are you done? And he said, no, I'm not done, but I'm done wrestling full time. And that makes sense. Will we see him in a ring again? I can almost guarantee it. You know, you'll see him at least a couple more times, but I think this is what he's good at. So give him more of your tradition, not your traditional host of WrestleMania role. Get him involved. Let him do some stuff.
Listen, I don't want him to be the bitter old veteran that's in shoot interviews just bashing the company all the time.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work either. Nobody wants to do that.
Nobody wants to do that.
Nobody wants to do that. There was besides Brody the Brain Herman in the building last night, there were some big names there.
Yes, there was. Sexy Red and Little Yachty making appearances, and Little Yachty alongside Trick Williams was a big part of the show last night. The main event, Sami Zayn defended his United States Championship in a rematch against Carmelo Hayes. Everybody knew Sami Zayn was going to win this match definitively. However, Trick Williams super over. He's got that white mink coat that he's got going. It's a beautiful look. He's got the physique. He's got the drip. It is unbelievable. Iced out to the gills. This dude's coming out to the ring. And without a doubt, Little Yachty was there. It was adding a little pomp and circumstance to WrestleMania. Of course, Little Yachty's now involved in WrestleMania. Sexy Red is going to be the host of NXT Stand Deliver tonight. So she was in attendance. So I thought it was great. Sami Zayn got booed.
I was just
really booed.
That is what I was going to bring up. I was going to say it was very surprising to me that Sami Zayn got booed, but also I don't think it's the people booing Sami Zayn. I think it's the people booing WWE saying you should have never taken that belt off of Carmelo. That's what I think it is. I don't think it's necessarily them booing Sami Zayn. Let me ask
you this. No, hold on a second. Let me ask you this. So would you rather see him face Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, and Carmelo Hayes at WrestleMania, and not Trick Williams and Sami Zayn, or just put Trick Williams in a different match?
If you're gonna give Sammy Hogan a match, man, it should have been a fatal four-way with Ilya, Carmelo, Trick, Sammy.
That's fine, but the dude, why do we need?
Does it every year? He did it with Chad Gable last year.
I would have liked a Carmelo Hayes Trick Williams match. I think that would have been entertaining.
But what did it do for Trick Williams? Beating Carmelo Hayes doesn't have the same meaning as if you beat Sami Zayn.
True, but what if now you've lost the people? So it doesn't matter what you do. Now Trick Williams...
you haven't lost to people because Trick Williams gets more over by beating Zayn at WrestleMania and gets a title.
You're right. So inadvertently or not, you just added even extra heat onto Sami Zayn because they're not going to write a letter to headquarters. They're going to boo Sami Zayn because he's got the title around his waist.
That's fine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm sure Zayn will use it to his advantage.
Yeah.
But it's a crowning moment for Trick Williams anyway, and Zayn will know that at WrestleMania.
You know what? That's a great point. And he is so over right now. If he wins this and they do put the belt around his waist, that is an absolute rocket for Trick Williams.
Of course it is.
Because a lot of people thought he was going to be in the main event picture right away. You know, like a lot of people did think that, and he was.
He's competing for a title. I don't know what else I could say about that.
Yeah, he is going to be in the conversation as far as who's up next for one of the big belts. He will. True. He has to be because he's got the look. You're right. He's got the persona and he's got the talent in the ring. So it's going to be excited to see him. What else happened on SmackDown last night that we can, look forward to as we get closer to WrestleMania?
Yeah, they further propelled Rhea Ripley, had her defeat Michin, so now they're propelling that even more forward. They had a women's tag team match between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria for this four-way tag team WrestleMania nonsense, just for another Bella Twins moment so they can just win the tag titles at WrestleMania again. And you want to talk about the worst match on the card, it's going to be that. So that's your popcorn match for either night one or night two, is a four-way women's tag title match that nobody asked for.
Yeah, and this is not us saying, oh, it's another women's match, boo. That's not it. I mean, we love women's matches, but we find that these four-way women's tag matches they're thrown together. They're not written well as far as the actual match. So it's hard to get invested in that.
What does the women's tag titles have done for Nia Jackson Last Legend? I think nothing.
You probably, if you would have said, hey, you got 8 seconds to name who's got those belts, I wouldn't have been able to tell you.
And nobody else can either. They were not over.
And it's a shame because you know what? It's like they kind of threw those belts together. They had some significance for a hot minute, and then they were clearly put on the back burner. Quickly, quickly.
I feel like Nia Jax drags Lash Legend down, doesn't propel her.
I do agree with you there because I've said since we first started talking about Lash Legend and her making her way back up to the main roster, I have said that is the one I am watching because she is just too good. If you take beauty, you take bronze, you put it together, and then you give it a personality and make her a worker, the hell out of here.
needs to
I
figure out the
can't
worker
not
piece.
watch her. I can't. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But I can't not watch her because she is powerful.
She's
And
powerful.
it is very, very
And
impressive.
all we're gonna
to
get at
watch her.
WrestleMania is what, another Bella Twins moment, so they can have another run with the tag titles again. And
I don't know,
just
man. I don't know.
I can't.
So that was last night. Okay. So
Yep.
we got SmackDown in St. Louis, and now we've got a big event happening tonight. Give me the details,
Yeah, that's right.
Brody.
It's going to be at the factory tonight. It is NXT Stand and Deliver. It is going to be an absolute loaded card. And of course, kicking it off, the first match is going to be for the tag team titles, NXT tag team titles, the Vanity Project, Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes versus Bravo Americano, Tyler Bate, and Rayo Americano, Pete Dunne.
Okay, so I want to take the character out for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne. I mean,
Wrestle.
incredible wrestlers.
I like Pete Dunne under a
wrestler,
mask. Doesn't he have one of the strangest faces?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. I mean, but come on, man. Let's not talk about the man's face. I'm talking about. I literally just go. Hey, man, these two can wrestle their ass off, and he goes, "What about their face?"
Put a mask on him.
Well, fine, but like those two can wrestle. Do you think they're getting like kind of buried and hidden with this whole?
Yeah, just
I mean,
now
come
we
on,
too many
man.
Americanos. It's watered down now.
Yeah, I mean, I listen. I loved it at first, even when it got silly.
many
I still
Americanos.
loved it, but now we're at the point where it's like, you know how there's some jokes that go on so long that they get funny again. I don't see this being one of them. Like
Yeah.
we're good here. So like these dudes are such good wrestlers. Let them wrestle, man. Let them wrestle. Why are they so respected in tag team wrestling? That duo, is it because they're just such great workers?
They're from Europe and they've known each other for a very long time, and they were the originators of NXT UK back in the day.
So for those that don't watch NXT, I hate using the term minor league, but it's the development
It's like
system.
developmental. So it's like
Yeah.
minor league. It's like in baseball, a AAA affiliate.
Okay.
Like
so
it's one step below the major leagues.
Okay, there you go. Perfect. So what is the difference in types of matches? Like, okay, I've only been to a WWE event. I'm going tonight to NXT. What's the difference that I can expect from matches in an
Well, don't
NXT
expect it
ring
to be
versus
main roster
WWE?
quality of matches. If you're like the work snob, then it's just going to be a little notch below. There are a lot of wrestlers who are trying out experimenting characters, experimenting gimmicks, experimenting things. It's a time for wrestlers to experiment what they need to do before they go to the main roster, make a few little tweaks to their game, and then they end up moving to the main roster.
The one thing I've noticed when I've gone to an NXT event is it's the matches move a little quicker.
Yep.
That's a little faster.
Yeah.
There's a little less like dramatic buildup.
Of course.
And you do see, now listen, you see a little bit more risk taken because
because
like
it's
you said,
sink or swim.
they're trying things out. So every once in a while, something might happen and it might not go as well as they planned. But the beauty of NXT is you don't really hear the fans and the WWE universe give them hell. It's just kind of we're moving on. Now, every once in a while they do, but I like the fact that you see these wrestlers taking these risks and trying to figure out what their style is in the ring. So it's very exciting to see. And what else? What other types of matches can we see tonight,
so
Brody?
Miles Bourne, for those who don't know, he's dating Stephanie Becker, will be defending the NXT North American Championship against Johnny Gargano. So I think Gargano's best in NXT. I have no problem with him being in NXT. Whatever.
My question to you was, would you consider, if they would have to say right now, the best wrestler to come out of NXT or to represent NXT, do you think Gargano's name is in the conversation?
Zero chance of
You
that.
don't think it is?
No, because you have Rollins. We're talking about Seth Rollins was an NXT champion. Finn Balor was an NXT champion. Charlotte Flair. How about in the women's division? Bayley and Becky Lynch and even Sasha Banks. Johnny Gargano? He's not even in the conversation.
Yeah.
Seriously, Johnny Same Face? Come on.
Well, listen, some people may say like when they think NXT, they think Gargano.
No, you know why? Because he's been there for so long. Because he's not good enough to be on the main roster. There are guys that have been in the minor leagues their whole career. It doesn't mean I'll crown them to be major leaguers.
Now, I didn't say that he wants to be a WWE Hall of Famer, but what if they do some sort of NXT Hall of Fame?
Good. You know what? And put his face up in the training center. I have no problem with that. Give him a banner. I don't care. Build him a statue in the training center. No one's going to see it.
Are you excited for this match?
Zero. This is your popcorn match on the card.
So what would your thoughts be on a match between Johnny Gargano and Jon Moxley?
What would my match be on that?
No,
At least
I don't
Gargano
wanna
can work
know.
better than Moxley.
Oh, God. I thought we were going to go 1 week. I set you up. I should have stopped myself. All right, what else is on the card tonight for
we
the
got a
show
lot
here
coming
in
up.
St.
In
Louis?
this, I want to get you guys' thoughts on Tatum Paxley will defend the Women's North American Championship against Blake Monroe. And I think there'll be a title change here.
You do.
And I believe that Blake Monroe, for those who don't know, Mariah May in AEW is the understudy. She's had an interesting and turbulent run in NXT. And hopefully, they're going to try to push her to the moon. But we'll see. I mean, it hasn't had a lot of momentum like people thought, like she was going to be catapulted to the main roster.
I thought that, like in AEW, I think she stands out. I really do. In NXT and in WWE, she's middle of the pack. And I'm talking from everything put together. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, she's a terrible worker.
She's not even in the main women's title match tonight. That's how far down the card she's become on this show.
But I think there's potential. If she really buys into the WWE way of business and really sinks into it, I think there's a shot there. I don't think it's there yet, but I think, again, in AEW, she stood out. I think it also helped that she was kind of thrown into a program with Tony Storm.
Of course.
So that kind of puts it, you're right there at the top. But I do believe that she's got potential. But I think you're right. I don't necessarily think this is what WWE thought they were going to get. So, who do you think wins this? You do think that
Blake Monroe wins this? They're going to have to put a belt on her, and they're going to try to elevate her, but she's not even in the main NXT Women's Championship match. We'll talk about that down the line on this show.
So, do you think for an NXT wrestler to make it to the main roster, they have to hold the main championship?
Not necessarily, but most times they do.
I was going to say, can you think of somebody recently that came from NXT that never held the major title?
Javon Evans never did.
Oh, okay. There you go. So based on work ethic and how cool you are, you can make your way up there. But the fact that it took you a second to think of that shows that there's not many people that have done it. So without that main title around your waist, it's tough to make your step up into the next level.
It is. Yep. It's a confidence booster for sure.
Yeah. So again, NXT Stand and Deliver at the Factory tonight in Chesterfield here in the St. Louis area. Where can I watch this show if I'm at home?
ESPN Plus.
ESPN Plus.
Yep.
It's considered a pay-per-view. It's not on YouTube or anything.
Plus, yeah.
Okay, cool. So you can check it out if you're at home, or I doubt tickets remain. I think the Factory goes pretty quick when they have those NXT shows. Yeah. Check the Factory's website if you do want to go and check out the show. Super excited that wrestling is here in St. Louis. Again, a rich history of wrestling in the St. Louis area. So it's nice when wrestling comes to St. Louis. What else do we have to look forward to tonight, Brody?
We got 3 more matches that are very important here. Sol Ruca will face Zarya after Zarya turned on her. This is an intriguing match because they were once a tag team, but it seems to be that these two ladies are separating themselves from the pack. So I'm excited to see how this match will go. And this may be a big deal for Sol Ruca. She's being elevated to the WWE main roster soon. Depending
how they want to use either of these ladies in storyline on the main roster, they're both headed there very soon.
Yeah.
This is going to be the match that I'm probably most looking forward to. It's a clash of styles, but we've seen them work together. So now it's going to be very awesome to see them work against each other. I think this is going to be the match that people are going to be talking about tomorrow.
Crown Zarya? Does Zarya need to win here because they're elevating Ruka?
I believe so. I believe so.
They're going to crown Zarya here.
I think that's what's happening. Okay. Because I think out of the two, I think Sol's probably the next up.
Yeah.
But I think Zarya's right behind her.
Yep.
And I think that this is the opportunity to where you can make both of these women look very, very strong, look very, very good, and still elevate somebody while not burying the person that takes the L. And I think it works out really well. So again, I'm very excited for that match this evening.
Of course, for the NXT Women's Championship is JC Jane will defend against Kendall Gray and Lola Vice.
Okay.
So Lola Vice, for those AAA, she has been there a lot. It's not the most star-studded match possible, but Kendall Gray's had a fast rise in NXT, and JC Jane has held that belt for a while. So I'm interested in seeing if there's a title change that's going to occur, and JC Jane's going to be elevated to the main roster, or will she keep the belt? I think she keeps the belt for now. I don't think she's pushed up to the main roster until after WrestleMania. So maybe, a little while longer. I don't see a title change in the women's division happening tonight.
Does it bother you that it's a triple threat match?
Nope.
You're okay with it here?
No, in this instance, it's okay because if there's not going to be title change, it doesn't matter. And there's an out there for Lola Vice or Kendall Gray, so I have no problem with it.
What is, in your personal opinion, I got 2 questions for you.
Okay.
What do you think the best triple threat match in WWE history is, and what's your favorite?
Oh, my God. Well, the best one is Randy Orton, Kurt Angle, Rey Mysterio, WrestleMania 22 in Chicago, and it's probably my favorite.
When I thought that question, I wrote it down. Okay.
Yeah.
And in my head, that's the very first match that came to my
too.
head. And I honestly would say that's probably also my favorite, because I think it was, if you are a indie wrestler and you are happening to tune into this podcast right now and you want to learn how to master the triple threat, watch that match and watch it 3 times. Watch it once watching Orton, watch it once watching Angle, watch it once watching Mysterio, and just watch the pacing. I think that's what made it the best.
The idea is that you need a definitive heel, a definitive babyface, and a tweener that is on the verge of turning. That's where the storytelling comes in with a triple threat. That's why they were invented. So
yeah, and it worked really well there. So again, tonight, you're not opposed to this being a triple threat.
No, I'm no problem with it at all.
The triple threats that are thrown together, and you're like, why the hell is this person in here?
We'll get to that in a second with this fatal 4-way.
All right, let's bring it, man. Bring it.
Oh my gosh, here we go for the NXT Championship. Joe Hendry will defend against Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, and Tony D'Angelo. Don't need Tony D'Angelo in this match. I don't really like him at all. He's been in NXT for a while. They keep trying to. It's like Baron Corbin trying to put a hat on a hat, just different gimmicks, and we just can't figure it out with you. So you've just been there for a while. I don't think he's going to be a main roster contributor. However, these other 3 guys absolutely may be Joe Hendry, Ethan Page, and Ricky Saints. I could see Ricky Saints winning the championship here. That's my bold prediction. I think Ricky Saints will win the belt. They are going to try to propel Ricky Saints to the main roster very soon, and I'm excited to see this. But Joe Hendry now is the NXT champion, and obviously he's wrestled at WrestleMania against Randy Orton. So he appears. He's Joe Hendry. He's very over, and I think he can be on the main roster very soon.
I thought they were already going to put him on the main roster.
I did say that on a show, but I realize now that the main roster is so crowded that I don't have any problem with Joe Hendry in NXT. It gives him, more reps in the ring, so I have no problem with it at all. And I think Royce Keys is probably going to go down to NXT very soon as well.
I was going to kind of say, what happened there? Like, that was such a big deal.
Last night is in a dark match.
That was such a big deal, and now it's like not at all.
Well, he went to NXT. I think he may appear on the NXT show. That's another thing. Expect Royce Keys to be on Stand and Deliver tonight.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, he's going to be there.
That would be cool. You heard it here first. Brody the Brain Herman's prediction for NXT Stand and Deliver tonight at the factory. Royce Keys, baby.
Yep.
God, I still hate that name. I'm sorry.
Me too. It sounds like a guy who works on Wall Street. What happened to Powerhouse Hobbs?
Why wouldn't you just call him Royce Hobbs?
I don't know.
Like, even that sounds better.
I acknowledge that he had an old name. Why do they keep acknowledging that he had an old name?
I don't get it.
Oh.
I don't understand it at all. So one thing I did want to talk about, we mentioned this at the beginning of the show, but I did want to kind of go back and give it a little bit more time.
Sure.
So you mentioned that Danhausen is not in the Intercontinental Championship picture.
Yes.
Okay. But I'm kind of starting to look forward to this match, man.
Yeah,
I think it's going to
be the Miz?
No. This ladder match that's happening. Dude, this ladder match, I think, is going to be probably one of the most fun matches to watch on the card.
Absolutely, a WrestleMania tradition. Penta will defend the Intercontinental Championship in a ladder match against Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, and Rusev. I will actually say Penta retains.
Time out. Did you just say this is a tradition?
Yeah. There's a ladder match always at WrestleMania most years.
Really?
Yeah.
That is news to me, man.
Really?
You educated me on something
brand new. The first ladder match was at WrestleMania in WWE.
Well, I knew that, but I didn't know that having a ladder match at WrestleMania is some sort of a tradition.
It's not there every year, but it's been there in the past. Shelton Benjamin had that spot off the ladder WrestleMania 25.
Listen, it makes sense. I think the ladder match is one of the most exciting matches.
Well, what about Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon?
Probably one of my favorite matches of all time.
Ladder matches galore.
Ladder matches galore. All right, so you think Penta retains here?
Yeah,
okay.
I do.
Now, Rusev is a big fella.
No. You know why he retains? Who wins this Intercontinental Championship match really doesn't matter because they're going to lose to Obafemi anyway.
Oh, you think that's what's next for Oba?
Because Gunther holds it, Braun Breaker holds it. It's almost natural that it's Oba's turn. I think whoever wins this match is going to be the guy that loses to Obafemi.
Okay. Listen, I don't hate that thought process. I did want to talk about real briefly because we're starting to see a lot of Obafemi, Brock Lesnar stuff, and we're starting to see a lot of Obafemi making Brock Lesnar look a little silly.
Yeah,
and I like it.
Contentious.
I'm here for it, man. I'm all here for it because
I'm ready.
I think when you put, like we said before, 2 monsters together and you throw them in the ring, I think this is going to be great. And I think just looking at it as a fan looking in, it does look like Brock Lesnar is 100% in and putting Oba over.
Yeah. I'm ready for it.
And do you think that's what's going to happen at Mania?
My chest. Yeah, of course, Oba has to win the WrestleMania match. Why would you book the match if Oba's not going to win? I think Brock Lesnar is going to put him over like $1 million. I am so excited for this match. The Beast Incarnate is going to unleash, but it's going to be Oba that comes out on top is they're going to continue to catapult Oba to the main event status. I am so excited for this match, and I think Oba is destined for some gold in 2026, whether it's the Intercontinental Championship, United States Championship. He is destined for gold in 2026, and I'm so excited to see what happens with Oba Femi.
I love it. What are your thoughts about what's going on with Seth Rollins right now?
Seth Rollins and Gunther, they kind of, I guess, pivoted, and he's no longer involved in a feud with the Vision anymore, and we're just completely pivoting to we're going to deliver a match in the ring with quality, and it's going to be Seth Rollins versus Gunther, though it may not be a very long match. It may not be as high up on the card as people want it to be. I think this is going to be an underrated gem on the card. It's going to be a technical match that is like no other, and I'm so excited to see Gunther and Seth Rollins face each other because I'm actually kind of excited about this match.
Yeah, if you're a fan of wrestling, this is going to be a match you do not want to miss. Who do you think? We all know a dance is somebody leading and somebody following. Who do you think controls this match?
I think Gunther does.
You do?
I absolutely do. He is going to be the ring general in the ring, and I think he will control this match, even though Rollins is more of the veteran. But, Gunther's the heel, and I think he'll call the match.
Do you think this is smart for them to put Rollins with Gunther, somebody that's not a very agile wrestler, so you can have it? Because think about it, Seth Rollins is technically still coming back from injury. You don't want him
to take care of him.
That's my point. I think Gunther and Seth Rollins can have a brutal, phenomenal match and not have Seth Rollins do most of the Seth Rollins stuff we're used to seeing.
It may be colder going into the match than people think, but you have to have good quality matches on a WrestleMania show. It has to deliver on the biggest stage, and you need quality matches to deliver in the ring, and this one certainly fulfills that quota.
Yeah, so what's going on with the Judgment Day now?
Yeah, so it's dissipated. Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio, they have all turned on Finn Balor like hyenas in The Lion King. It was like hyenas turning on their leader Scar. Yep. It was quite the turn. And I'm excited for this match. I really am. And I have no doubt that I think Dom wins this match.
You do?
Yeah, because Balor never goes over at the end. And I think they're going to try to propel Dom. And why? Why have Balor win? It doesn't do anything. So I think Dom wins this match. But you know what? Maybe Balor needs to get his revenge on the Judgment Day, but maybe you can milk this out even further.
In my eyes, if Dom wins this match, I mean, it buries Finn Balor so far down there because now he's out to sea with 58 stories going on right now, and he's got nothing.
Do you continue it until SummerSlam? Like maybe this ends up being a wacky finish and they milk it to SummerSlam? Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez don't have much going on in the card.
That maybe. I mean, of course, we're probably going to see the Judgment Day stuff? Yes.
I sensed it.
Yes. Without question, man. I'm done with it. I like everybody in the Judgment Day, but I don't like the Judgment Day. Does that make sense?
It does. 100%.
Like, I like everybody in the Judgment Day, but I don't need it. And if they still want to hang out together, cool. If they still want to be in tag teams together, cool. If you still want to interfere, great. But I don't need you guys as a group anymore. Like, it doesn't do anything. It feels like right now we're trying to hold it together until SummerSlam.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me. So I don't know. So we talked about John Cena hosting WrestleMania. Okay.
Yep.
And listen, we're getting a lot of celebrities getting involved in the WrestleMania picture.
Just like being involved in wrestling.
I mean, when wrestling became cool again,
is that like a thing? Like Jelly Roll just loves being involved. Any chance he can get out there, he does. I Show Speed. This young man loves wrestling. It seems to be. He's getting involved again.
And I want to give I Show Speed or the WWE or a combination of the both. I want to give them props because if you want to get I Show Speed involved in WrestleMania to help with either ticket sales or people downloading the ESPN app, having LA Knight show up to his house on a live stream is the absolute best way, because that guy could go on and tell people to start eating grass because it's the best thing ever. And you would see 1,000 people acting like cows on their hands and knees eating grass instantly.
Got that influence.
Dude, he's so influential, and especially with the youth, man. And I know I sound like I'm a 40-year-old guy talking about the TikTok, but dude, I mean, I Show Speed is
over, as they would say.
My son is 9, and he begged me to the point where he was almost in tears to buy the I Show Speed Fortnite skin. So seeing him at WrestleMania, my son's going to lose his mind. This is a genius move to get him involved in any type of way in this match. I think it's a fantastic move.
Are you amazed that so many kids are a fan of this kid? In particular, like kids being fan of a kid, it's still
I
wrapping my head
am,
around.
but I'm not, because I think very early on he made a decision to do this streaming in a very different way.
Yeah.
And I think people ate it up. And if you really take a look at the kind of evolution of Speed, he did it right,
Does
man. He had a
remind
great
you of, like,
team.
the teenage stars
Man.
of the past.
Man, I remember when
Bigger.
I showed Speed scene
Yeah.
and streaming, and he was a different kind of guy.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Yeah, he found that niche. He found that
he
niche in
loves
his
Mark, and
team.
it's that energy that
Yeah.
he has.
and how old do you think Speed is, Brody?
Oh, he's more 2005. He's a young kid.
Yeah.
He's a kid. I mean, I'm not talking about some guy that's older than me. I mean, he's younger than I am.
That's
He's a
Yeah.
kid.
He's 21.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable.
Which is a
God,
kid.
and he's got so much money. Oh God.
Yeah.
he's got a
That
lot
dude
of it.
prints money. So again, getting him involved is absolutely genius. We talked about the WWE Hall of Fame last week.
Yeah.
There is technically another addition to the WWE
Yeah.
Hall of Fame, correct?
Yes, there is.
So tell me about
So an
that.
immortal match between Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 3, in front of 93,000 people in the Pontiac Silverdome in Detroit, Michigan, as Hulk Hogan did body slam Andre the Giant, but it's not the first time he did it. That's a common Mandela effect in wrestling. Actually, Hogan first slammed Andre the Giant in 1980. Number one was the first time he actually body slammed him, and the first time that Andre the Giant was body slammed, October 9th, 1978 by Harley Race. So not only did Hogan not body slam Andre the Giant for the first time at WrestleMania 3, but he body slammed him for the first time in 1980.
My favorite thing is this, okay? I knew that it wasn't the first time that Hogan body slammed Andre.
Yeah.
Couldn't have told you the year, ever.
Right.
I had no idea that Harley Race was the
Yes.
first ever to body slam
When
Andre
it
the
was first
Giant.
documented, it was on a magazine cover.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And didn't you also say, this was a while ago on the show, but didn't you say, like, they kept saying that Andre the Giant was undefeated, but like there was like,
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
Loss
yeah,
after
that's
loss.
another myth out there that he was undefeated for 15 years, which wasn't really the case.
yeah, the only thing that I know that is one of my favorite facts about Andre the Giant is what he drank. Like,
Oh, his alcohol consumption was mighty.
they said that he would drink like 8 bottles of wine and then 50 beers and not be drunk.
That's a
It-
big
it's
man, though.
unbelievable.
It's
It's a big man.
outrageous.
Take
It's
him down.
outrageous. It's
Take him
insane.
down.
Liver's unbelievable.
It's insane.
Take him
Now,
down.
listen, he suffered probably throughout the last 15 to 20 years of his life in pain pretty much everywhere he went.
Oh.
But I probably would drink 100 beers too if that's how I felt every single day
Absolutely.
just from walking to point A to point B. But, this match probably at least up there, top 3 most important matches in
Absolutely.
WWE
I mean, listen,
history.
Al Snow once said this, and he's like, what is the most important? What was the best match? And people were like, oh, it was Steamboat and Savage. Didn't you know? He's like, no, the best match is the one that draws the most tickets. And everyone's like, what? Why? He's like, yeah, the best match is the one that sells the most tickets. That's the best match. And he's not wrong entirely on that's the match that draws that gets. Nobody went in there really caring about Savage and Steamboat. They made you care because of the match, but you didn't go in caring about it.
Yeah.
In the case of Hogan and Andre, everyone wanted to see this match.
Yeah, and I think you're right. And what details from this match? Now, obviously, everybody remembers the body slam.
Yep.
Okay. What else? What other details and what other significant things happened in this
Andre the
match?
Giant was accompanied by Bobby the Brain Heenan, the greatest manager in the history of the sport of professional wrestling. Obviously, Hogan won. That's another Mandela effect thing. Actually, Andre the Giant won the belt at Saturday Night's Main Event in 1988 at the Market Square Arena.
Is this the match with the infamous ripping of the chain and Hogan?
No,
bleeding on
that
his
was
chest?
before it. So that was when they did the match preview before it.
Okay, but I'm saying that was the build up to this match.
Yeah.
Was that where Hogan did his infamous, and one of the things of dude, I love that so much, man. You go back and watch some of that stuff in the late 80s, the early 90s. It really was cheesy, but God, man,
Was it?
so pure. You know what I mean? That's when, like, I remember you had kind of sparked a memory in my head of Shawn Michaels Razor Ramon ladder match. Okay. I remember multiple times, Brody, going to Blockbuster and renting that VHS cassette because I wanted to watch that match.
Yep.
Like, and this was years later.
Yep.
So it's moments like that. And that's why I love the fact that they're doing these, matches that are going into
Yep.
the Hall of Fame, because it really, truly will be able to paint the picture for new fans. Like my 9-year-old son, who doesn't even really know who Hulk Hogan is besides a video
Yep.
game. That's the only introduction he has. One of the most important people in wrestling, love him personally or not, whatever. One of the most important figures in wrestling history. My son knows little to nothing about. But with these matches, he gets to be introduced to him.
Yep.
Through wrestling
Yep.
and not through the other stuff.
Yep.
So it's very important. So let's play WWE executive.
Sure.
You have to pick a couple matches that are up next to go in with this honor. What is that in your mind?
Will they ever put WCW matches in?
Let's go ahead. Hey, you're the WWE.
You have to do Flair Steamboat.
In this scenario, you're the WWE exec. You can do what you want.
Flair Steamboat trilogy at some point.
I think. And does it go in as a trilogy? That was my question. I think it has to.
Chi-Town Rumble. Probably.
No, dude. I think they have to put it in as a trilogy.
You almost have to.
There's no rules here. Like
That's fine.
You
put it as a trilogy of matches.
You
almost have to, right?
Yeah, I think you do, because I think even though there are matches, out of those three, there's one or two that stand out over the other, but I think the whole series makes it what it is. So I think they got to go in as a trilogy.
Yeah, you almost have to, right?
What else? What else goes into this? Because and again, you don't have to follow WWE rules. So if you want to put in something that happened 2 years ago, you can.
Would you have to put CM Punk and John Cena Money in the Bank 2011 in there?
I think you probably would.
You probably would at some point.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to be soon, but they're going to do it. What was it? Sergeant Slaughter and Pat Patterson in 81, the New York Street fight. That was
that's a deep cut, and I think that's a match that probably
put in.
If you're out there listening right now and you started watching wrestling in the Ruthless Aggression era, you probably went, huh? And have no idea what we're talking about. That's a match that I think fly a lot of people's radars that you should probably check out on the vault there, because that's a good one.
I don't know, but again, Austin and Bret Hart wasn't the main event of WrestleMania 13, so that's opened the floodgates.
Yeah, but I also think that match could have been, though. I think that match could have been the headliner of any WrestleMania,
right? And then
with
people
both of
would have
those
been
guys.
happy.
Yeah. What do you think now? Notoriously, people are always talking about the best WrestleMania, which is, what do you think is notorious?
WrestleMania 17.
Okay. What's the worst? What's the worst?
Worst WrestleMania 4, probably, that stupid tournament.
A lot of people also say that WrestleMania 2000 was kind of a womp womp.
Well, that's hard. I mean, a 4-way match. The only reason
I liked WrestleMania 2000, but I was also
tournament.
Dude, I was also 14 in 2000. Right, so that was like right up my alley.
WrestleMania 4 was they had a tournament for the WWE Championship, and Hogan and Andre had a double disqualification at that show.
And that was a WrestleMania.
Yeah, at WrestleMania.
And Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant had a double count out.
A double disqualification, yes.
A double disqualification.
That was terrible.
Can you imagine if that happened in 2026? Oh my God. No, the building would be turned over. It would not have gone over very well. Listen, back then, fans probably just went, boo, my feelings are hurt. This is malarkey.
It was Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant in the quarterfinals match, ended in a double disqualification, and therefore a new champion would be crowned.
That's outrageous.
Andre was the champion going into WrestleMania, by the way, and Randy Savage won the match by beating Ted DiBiase in the final.
See, dude, I'm telling you, if that happened in 2026, within seconds, you would have the wrestlers' home addresses, their mom's addresses online, the armies rallying up. There would be skywriters that would be pointing arrows to where their buses are. It would be absolute anarchy. But back then, they were just like, roll with it. Put the belt on Randy. Roll with it. Roll with it. That's exactly how things used to work.
What's
Nowadays, you can't do it, man.
Most people from that night, that's not even what they took away from it. Everybody remembers Sting and Flair's draw on TBS for free happened that same night instead of that WrestleMania. It's the most forgettable WrestleMania ever. That's got to be the worst.
That is, again, it is so bad. I think it fits that bill because I don't remember that.
It's so forgettable.
I don't remember that at all.
And that's because of Flair and Sting.
So what other WrestleMania moments would you put into this category? Because again, we're on our way to WrestleMania.
You know, one that people forget is that Shinsuke and AJ faced off against each other for the title WrestleMania. Nobody remembers it.
Guilty. I don't remember that.
I don't either.
Now that you said it, I remember it. But
Marcus AJ retained.
That match
was on his year title long reign.
Yeah, that match lives 0% in my brain.
Shinsuke won the Rumble.
What I mean, God, that's one thing we do have to look into at one point is the downfall of Shinsuke.
Yeah, that's going to be a documentary.
I mean, getting old, man. Dude, I know he's getting up there, but like, and I don't know, maybe it was when it was still kind of the Vince era. I mean, they just really dropped the ball with him. He came over with so much hype. I remember going, I can't get away from him. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they were like, you don't need to worry about getting away from him. We're going to keep him away.
Did it just kill his career that he lost at that WrestleMania?
I guess so, because I think that made it go, people went, we barely believe AJ as a champion, and you couldn't even beat him. How are we supposed to believe in you for anything? You know, I mean, I don't know.
Return this week to AEW, Chris Jericho. So now we can deny all the WWE.
Thank you. Dude, there was something living in my brain where I was like, we have to talk about this, and I completely forgot.
Oh yeah.
Yes, dude. Have we all been bamboozled?
No.
Is that what happened?
I honestly believe this happened. Chris Jericho had this realization of, I can be in AEW. I don't have to be in tip-top physical shape, and I can be higher up on the card, and I can still make pretty good money, or I'm going to be lower on the card in WWE, and they're going to expect me to be in tip-top physical shape. I don't want to do this.
So I heard somebody. Okay. There's somebody that we respect, a certain JBL.
Sure.
I heard him say that, what if Chris Jericho went to WWE and WWE said, perfect, you can do a retirement tour and Gunther's going to end your career at the end of the year and then you can retire. And he went, I don't want to retire. And they went, oh, well, we're only going to give you a 1-year deal so you can go out and this is your send off. And he went, no, maybe I have 2 or 3 more years left. And so he went, sorry, that's not going to work for me.
It's a factor.
AEW.
I think it's a factor, but I don't think it's the only factor. Because, I mean, the downfall of Chris Jericho has been so apparent. It's so funny. Like, the physical, just in the ring, he's slowing down so significantly that AEW now puts always a stable around him or a tag team around because he can't go anymore. It's so sad to watch him.
Did you think that the reaction from the Winnipeg crowd was as great as they thought it was going to be, or no?
I think it was, we need him for Canada, so we're going to bring him back in his hometown of Winnipeg. He wanted to do it. I think there's a portion of the fan base that's younger than us, and I know some of them, and they're like under the age of 15. They're like, this is Chris Jericho, the guy who stumbles in the ring and can't execute anymore. I mean, I had a debate 5 years ago with somebody, and I argued like Chris Jericho is going to have a worse downfall than Matt Hardy. You think Matt Hardy's downfall is bad? I'm already seeing slippage with Chris. And then 5 years later, it's like, oh my God, it's gotten that bad. I mean, he can barely even stand up in a ring anymore. It's awful.
I mean, he looked like he's gotten himself into decent shape. I mean, I know he was doing some stuff.
Top shape.
No, I think at this point he can't be, man. I think this is his top shape.
But remember, his style is based on him being in tip-top shape and doing the lion salt and his agileness in the ring. It's slowed down, and he stumbles a lot. Is
Chris Jericho the person that after he hangs it up in the ring, he immediately becomes either a manager or a commentator?
I'd probably be a manager, be a commentator, go on tour with Ozzy. Do what you want to do, man.
Yeah, I think it works. But I think Chris Jericho is one of those names that, I mean, in my eyes, he's got to be involved in wrestling for his entire life.
Yeah, he does.
He has to. He's too good not to be,
He's too good not to be. I think he's great I think he could be a great manager at one point. I think he'd be an excellent manager. I think he could absolutely be a commentator or even a trainer, or he can work as an agent in the back. I don't mind it.
Does Chris Jericho still have main card aura if he remains in WWE and never goes to AEW? Or do you think there's a moment where we kind of, as WWE Universe go, we're moving on, Chris?
Yeah, I think, you know what? I think a lot of the fans have moved on from Chris.
Okay.
To be honest, they're just like, yeah, he's in AEW, and if he comes back, great, but we don't expect him to be in the main event title picture. I don't think he's going to be in the main event title picture in AEW. I think that ship is long sailed. He's dragged his career out for far too long. And he's one of those guys that I used to enjoy seeing early on his AEW run. It was great. And then he kept declining. His matches are declining. The people he's working with. I don't want to see Chris Jericho with furniture. I don't want to see that. That's not Chris. That's not what we grew up on. That's not the cruiserweight Jericho.
Yeah, give me a lion salt, baby.
Yeah, give me a lion salt.
Give me a list. Give me a list of finishing maneuvers or submission holds.
Right, exactly. The list was over. Remember that when he had the list of people's names, the list of Jericho.
Okay, so let me tell you, I think that was one of the greatest moments of WCW history. Okay, is Dean Malenko called himself the man of 1,000 holds. Yes. Chris Jericho came on TV and called himself the man of 1,001 holds, and then started naming submission moves. Okay, Nitro goes to commercial, comes back, and Jericho is still reciting moves, meaning during the live break, okay, in the arena, as TV is at commercial, Jericho is just rambling submission moves. And it, to me, is one of the greatest moments in WCW history, and why I think alone Chris Jericho will always and forever be needed in wrestling.
Absolutely. Of course, somebody commented the Miz versus Damian Priest zombie lumberjack match for a Hall of Fame match. No lumberjack match should ever be in the WWE Hall of Fame. It is a rotten stipulation. It's ridiculous. And that zombie match was supposed to be a promotional crossover for the Grateful Dead.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, just ridiculous zombie crap. Zombies do not need to be involved in pro wrestling. If you're a zombie fan, go watch a million zombie movies. Keep them off of wrestling TV as much as possible.
You know what I wanted to do, and I want to make sure that we continue
Sure.
to do this throughout the year. You know how they give out the Razzies to all the
Yes.
bad films? Let's do something where we highlight and we give out awards for those
what
that
about
have
a
not.
Razzie Award for Drew McIntyre's unnecessary title run?
Okay, see, that's what you're going to get, folks. So just stay tuned at the end of the year when we give out our awards. We'll come up
what
with a
was that?
fancy name.
Wait, so at first quarter, we go to the TKO shareholders and stockholders. You know, we need a big splash. So let's have a title change because we're sick of Drew losing all the time. And guess what? He's not even going to defend the title at WrestleMania. He's going to lose it less than 3 months later.
Guys, I cannot wait till we give out the first annual Brainies at the end of the year. When we give out Brainies to these matches that just riled Brody up throughout the year, I cannot wait.
That one was
No,
wild.
Moxley's gonna be on one.
Listen, the show's wrapping up. Please, I'm begging you, do not do that. Not right now. I want to enjoy my Easter holiday. Please stop. Brody, one more time to give us the details as far as NXT Stand and Deliver tonight
Yeah, that's
here
right.
in
It's gonna
town.
be NXT Stand and Deliver at the Factory, I believe at 7:00 p.m. So I'm excited. You know, the Factory, Tony, it's this new kind of concert venue. It's right in Chesterfield. It's in that area near Taubman Prestige Outlets, or now I don't know what it's called now, but it's right by Main Event. It's
It's
one
over
of
there in the
those-
district.
Yeah, it's in that district area. Have you ever seen a concert at the Factory?
I have, and it is one of my favorite venues in St. Louis.
I
The
haven't yet.
sound inside the Factory, I have said this, is probably the best sound where you will hear a concert in the area.
Tony, I'm actually curious about this because whenever I ask you, who's the best wrestler musician ever?
Ooh, that's a
Insane
great
Clown Posse
question.
does not count.
Okay. Man, Macho Man had a hell of a hip hop CD, man. Have you ever heard any Macho Man's
I
rap?
have. It's great.
It's something. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that. I think
Is it Jericho and Fozzy? Is it Jeff Hardy?
it's not Jeff Hardy. I guess I would have to say Fozzy and Jericho, just because there are probably the most amount of Fozzy songs I like. Listen, I can't remember what the band's name was, but whatever the band is that did D-Generation X's theme song, they killed it. I know it doesn't have anything to do with a wrestler, but it has something to do with wrestling, and that band is absolutely fantastic. I would love to say Cody's theme song, but again, he doesn't do anything in it.
No, it'd be
Yeah, it would be
interesting.
Fozzy. I think it would have to be Fozzy for me.
Would it be? And then Limp Bizkit, obviously, best musical involvement ever in wrestling.
Yeah, personally, I would say so.
WrestleMania 17.
Damn it. You're right.
Oh, Cena.
You're right. Wow. Idiots. We're all idiots. Listen, I take the L on that one. John Cena is the answer.
Is he
Okay,
the
I
best
was waiting.
musical involvement?
I mean, yeah. I would say so.
Hip hop. and
Hold
wrestling?
on. Now I'm questioning myself, because now I'm thinking, how you asking me the question? Are you talking about a wrestler involved in the music world that has had mainstream success?
Yes.
Like Fozzy has had some success for non-wrestling fans. No
Okay, so
non-wrestling
that's
fan
fair.
is
That's
listening to
okay,
John
then
Cena.
Fozzy's fair. Like non-wrestling fans, I'm talking.
I don't think a hip-hop fan is going to go cop the John Cena. record.
No. Okay, so Jericho's fair. Then.
I think Jericho is the answer. I really do. I think John Cena is very talented, but I don't think music fans are
What's
finding
your favorite Fozzy song then?
probably Judas.
Probably
I mean,
Judas.
I
You
hate to
almost
say
have
that
to.
too, but it would probably be Judas.
It almost have to be.
So, all right. Well, NXT Stand and Deliver at the Factory tonight. Make sure you check it out. If not, if you're going, have fun. Let us know if you had a great time. Join us next week here at 11 a.m. We are live on YouTube every single week. And if you are finding us from the podcast Heat family, welcome. We welcome you to the family. And of course, make sure that you're following us on the socials. Brody, give them all the info when it comes to the
That's
socials.
right. Of course, the socials on X, it's at Wrestling OTS. And of course, YouTube, please subscribe. That's at Wrestling on the Spectrum. TikTok, it's at Wrestling on the Spectrum. Instagram, it's at Wrestling on the Spectrum. And of course, the podcast Heat family, ringclassics.com. That's right, ringclassics.com. Subscribe for $134 a month. You get to go to Top Guy Weekend. So there's going to be a lot of Top Guy Weekends. And coming up, there's one in Nashville, May 29th through the 31st. You get to see a lot of cool belts.
Yeah,
You'll get to see a lot of cool stuff in Nashville.
Top Guy Weekend is really cool. So you guys definitely want to make sure that you sign up for that you get all the info. Brody, website one more time.
Absolutely, ringclassics.com. And of course, several podcasts around there. Curtain Jerkers is something to behold.
Hilarious.
Have More Money Now with JBL is an absolute treat. Something to wrestle with Bruce Pritchard. My World with Jeff Jarrett, What Happened When with Tony Schiavone, 83 Weeks with Eric Bischoff, and of course, Grilling JR with Jim Ross, all hosted by our friend Conrad Thompson. An absolute treat. So check all of that out, of course.
Absolutely. And a big thank you to our sponsors for Wrestling on the Spectrum, Brown and Crouppen online, getbc.com. That's getbc.com. For Flying, Ryan Swingler, and Brody the Brain Herman, my name was Tony Patrico. Thank you for listening. This was Wrestling on the